Hello everyone and welcome. Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. Hope you're doing fantastically well. Quick update video here on IOTX, one of our favorite projects here at the Wales of Wall Street. Very much around AI and IoT, of course, as you know. But I thought I'd pick out a couple of pointers here before we go into the chart. One thing in particular that was of interest to me was the launching beta of health blocks. So this is utilizing the IOTX ecosystem. We talk about health projects quite a lot in some of our videos. Okay, so health blocks, not too dissimilar to some that are out there already, but we covered a while back a video on IOTX about like activity to earn, for example. So this is an opportunity. You can, by the way, become a beta tester. You just simply sign up with your email if you want to get involved at the early stages of this project. But this is about obtaining health tokens when you are doing certain activities, particularly around exercise, etc. But also utilizing it for data pools. So it means you can opt in or opt out to share your data with third parties. Now I'm bringing this point up because, as you know, over the last maybe 20 years, AI or indeed the learning, machine learning has taken control of what we do as humans through our behavioral patterns, whether that be purchasing, our browsing history, whatever that may be. All you need to know how that works is obviously if you go on YouTube or you talk about things for a certain period of time, you start seeing adverts, right? And all the same as well if you're online on a browser. If you look at certain things, the cookies kick in and then you start seeing more and more of the things that you've been looking at before. So it builds like a rapport of who you are. That is what essentially at the moment the human to machine learning capabilities are doing. Part of that aspect is around this decentralized identity, DID. Okay, this is what we're trying to move into, away from using centralized systems, not having the power to decide where our data goes, who's using it, who's paying. Do you know there's companies out there that are literally using your data and selling it to other companies? Sometimes we do sign up to them in the small print. We just don't bother reading it, right? But can you imagine that? Like, and that's why we see you go on like ClearScore or these credit score sites, and they find out where your name's been on the internet. It's because it's been passed around. You may have signed up to things without knowing. It's quite crazy, really. But it's been going on for years and years. Algorithm data building has been going on for years. Like I said, you can see that very, very easily in like YouTube algorithms and stuff like that. Things that you watch like once or twice, then all of a sudden become very repetitive in your where they say like your recommendations. So this is no different really to the health sector. Your health data perhaps being sold. This now gives you the opportunity to have some power back to yourself. Yeah, so meaning that you can control where your health data goes. You can sell your data if you want to and have complete transparency of that because of blockchain, know your customer, smart contracts, all these great things that blockchain brings to the table, right? But of course, the opportunity as well for activity to earn, getting paid essentially tokens for being healthy, for being active. And I think that's brilliant because it works two different ecosystems there. It works you being healthy, and it also works for you being in more control of where things go. But looking on the grand scale of things of the health sector, we talk about projects like Solve Care and things like that as well, which are really cool. But utilizing the likes of IOTX algorithms and ecosystems, health blocks has an advantage in the sense that it will really help, in my opinion, the health services of the world. The more data you have, the more opportunity we have for curing things, to develop solutions, results, for various diseases, various problems that we have as humans, or what we face as humans. And that can be done through data. The more data you have, the more opportunity you have for trend, and the more opportunities you have to predict the future. If you think of that concept of like future markets or like betting protocols where you can predict the future based on algorithm right now. It's like when football here in the Premier League, there's companies out there that can kind of dictate what a Premier League would finish like based on statistics of players, based on data, based on predictive results. And obviously it's still work in progress, but it's the same for healthcare. It will be to the point where we have the chips inside us, which will be definitely eventually coming at some point in the next few years for sure. They're already trialing most of those. But it'll be on the principle that you will be told that you're going to have a heart attack in 2 weeks or something. And then all the tokenomics kicks in, your transportation's already paid for, the operation's ready for you to be had in the vehicle that picks you up autonomously. Everything's done, your medicine's dropped off by drone, this, that, and the other. Happy days. But that's based on data and algorithm of inside you. But what about as a society? Well, I feel like there's a big community opportunity, not just regionally, but as a world community, to really drive data into progressing how we do things. Can you imagine all those countries out there in third world states where perhaps they don't have monetary value to enhance their medical systems and this, that, and the other? The opportunity for us to share better, be more efficient, be more cost effective, where they can finally have the power to be able to develop things the way other countries do. That is where blockchain is taking us, in my opinion. I think we're building, especially through the Agenda 30 programs via the UN and the World Economic Forum, where they talk about sustainability, health, diversification, all these things. Blockchain has a big part behind it. And when you look at the ecosystem, we talked about IoT things, but particularly like Fitbits and all these scales and stuff like that, all being interlaced into one system, one data system for a data exchange for you to be able to put into the system, but also data analysis of you yourself. Can you imagine having a predicted system that will tell you what's going to happen to you in a few days time if you continue to do a certain activity or action, or that you're not doing enough of something? This is what's going to happen to you. Warnings ahead of the game. Think of all the heart attacks that are going on the last couple of years. Not mentioning any reasons, obviously, but like the heart attack situation is quite a big thing. The food that we eat, the food that's within us, or the drink that we have, all contributing to our bad blood and our bad insides. Having data will stop that. It will help us understand. Think of all these, I buy things in charity shops all the time. It's my favorite thing. I haven't bought a new bit of clothing for years. I love charity shops and I love finding designer stuff that's hardly been worn. It's just like a little treasure hunt for me. It's a fun thing to do and it helps contribute to charities, obviously. But how many of these charities and research companies have been trying for decades to find solutions to things, and we're not really getting anywhere? We're pumping money into it. They're trying their best. I don't even know what goes in the back end, how the research actually gets developed, because I don't see any results really. And that's where I think this kind of thing will drive that significantly faster. That's what technology is about, right? Because, like, look at the first iPhone, how that developed over even just a short space of our human lives. Within 10 years, what the capabilities are of communication and apps. Think what we could do with the healthcare side of things. So that's why I'm excited about this. I'm excited about IOTX, its launchpad mechanism, its ecosystem. But we know for a fact with IOTX, the AI and IoT capabilities with blockchain are phenomenal. So I thought I'd bring that one to your attention. Of course, we always talk about the machine fight, all of these great things about IOTX. But do keep an eye out on the 11th of January, 9 a.m. PST. An exciting Lunar Crush. So this is an interview on AMA with the IOTX team. Go and check that out. I will definitely be watching that. They're a really interactive team at IOTX. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with for some things coming up in the future. They'll probably talk about the Pebble as well, which we covered a few videos back, the hardware data tracking system that you can buy now, utilizing it for obtaining data. This is the beginning, guys. This is your opportunity to be a part of something so unique and special, to enhance the world moving forward. And you could say that you're in the beginning development stages. I'm not saying IOTX is the only one doing this kind of things. We cover other projects like Fetch AI, IOTA, of course, all the DAG principles, but Matrix, for example, all the AI projects I absolutely love. But these guys are really enhancing themselves in a unique way. Hardware's really interesting as well. I think it's just the next phase of humanity, guys. We just got to really embrace it and hope that we can go down a more and more decentralized avenue, take power back to the people and really fix this world. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to achieve in this space. It's not all about money for me. You know, I have goals to remove homelessness. I also have goals to really enhance and progress the opportunities that we have to enhance healthcare, to enhance diversification, and to enhance, more importantly, a level equality in this world. It's too long that we've had too much gap in our societies, and we need to bridge that and make it fairer. And I think if we do that, we can make the world strong and move forward collectively. But enough of the Miss Pageant here. Let's go into the chart and see what's occurring with IOTX. So do smash that like button if you like what you hear and see, and do subscribe if you've not done so already. So let's have a look at the chart. Won't keep you too long. Got a few more videos to crack through. So we're here on 10 cents, guys. It's been like that for a few days. I've been buying the last couple of days as I've been getting confirmations of 10 cents. I missed this bit of a drop that we had yesterday, which was down here. Let me just move the silly markers. 9.5 cents. I missed that one, but I'm happy at 10 cents. I said this in a few videos back. I said anything under 15 cents for IOTX is an absolute steal. But we're here projecting numbers that we have seen back here in November, some drop points here in mid-December, but also very interestingly touching areas that we saw back here in August as well. Before this August period, we were floating below 10 cents, and I was bagging a lot of mine at around 2-3 cents, as well as 7 cents as well. So since then, we had a big parabolic run where I sold some up here around 20, and I bought back in at these areas, as you know from the videos way back early at the later stages of 2021. And now we're back here where we were before. This is a great area. For me, in my opinion, it's hitting a bottom line of correction. We're having a nice trend line of an upward trend here. If you look historically, even back from these August periods, and even way back beyond, well, it goes back further than this, but this is just Hoiby's situation. But a very nice movement in this forward-thinking way on the chart. So does it mean that we don't come back down any lower? No, not in my opinion. I've put this buy box down here as well. One that's slightly at the lower spectrum of 9 cents, so around sort of 9.1. And I've also got one just under that at around, I think it's 0.087 something. It's not drastic, but just in case. And the reason I put that in there, we're still in a bear move still. Confirmed here on the MACD with the switch over on the 5th of January. It might narrow quicker than we think, and it might swing back over, which would be fantastic to see as well. But I'm just going on data. We've got the histogram here of overselling area. I don't think we'll see a big one like this again, but don't be fooled by this pale red thinking it's coming to an end. Of course, that'd be great if it does, but we did see that as well back here, and then it confirmed an extra boost downwards as well. So whilst we're in this move, I'm just thinking ahead and saying, do you know what? Absolutely happy personally to be buying around 10 cents, but I am keeping a firm eye. If we break this barrier over the next couple of days, we may drop down slightly, and that would then confirm our previous kind of touch points around these areas. And certainly something that we haven't seen broken since these areas back here in November as well. So just keeping that in mind. But on the flip side, IOTX is a very progressional project right now, very heavy involved in marketing and communication, which I really love. And from an investor's perspective, it ticks all the boxes. Hardware is coming out, projects, the ecosystem, the launch pad is fantastic, amazing news. It's still in early development, but things are being launched on it now. Imagine what IOTX is capable of as that ecosystem builds, and we're already around this very nice 10 cent mark. So that's why continuing to buy. This was actually our AI and IoT top pick of 2021, way back in May or June, one of our first videos that we did here on the channel, and I stand by it. And we will be doing an AI IoT top 5 video launching beginning of next week, where we've got some really cool projects, both new and old as well. 16% down on the week, 17% down on the month. Okay, so that's pulling back slowly but surely. 54% up on the last 3 months, which is actually quite good considering, but that may tail off as it starts considering the lack of the removal of the drops, and we start considering this. So that's why I'm interested in this area right now, putting this potential buy area just in case. But hopefully we'll get the support here. It is looking promising, and we might start badgering this 10.5 cents more often, which we're literally just floating by at this current point in time as we're doing the video. We did touch up it earlier today what did we get? A high of 10.6 cents, but got slightly rejected. So it's an interesting move. And the other final points as well, the RSIs. Very happy to be buying at the 14-day at 37. Anything 40 or below for me is good, and any incremental values below that. But for me, more importantly, I was looking at the 28-day and the 90-day. So the 90-day is very middle ground. If you look back in history, 27th of October being at 50, November high points at 67. So it's not drastic, but it's kind of concluding, back in a balanced momentum for IOTX, which we haven't really seen since August, arguably. So that's really positive from my aspect of maybe turning this around quickly and having confidence, and there's investment clearly coming in to keep it afloat. But on that 20-a-day is significant more so. We have had higher regions, of course, in the past, in the last month or so, but it's been tailing down. But now it's starting to tick itself back up. So at this nice level kind of 44 area, if it obviously drops down to maybe 42.40, that's where I see us coming perhaps to these areas that I've already mentioned at the lower regions. But for now, that is where we are. It's very middle ground, and it's very much, in my opinion, deciding what it wants to do. And that could be arguably affected in a couple of ways. Do bear in mind we had similar move back here in the beginning of January. Then we had things like the Bitcoin leveraging failures, as well as other asset failures on shorts and longs, which just drove the whole market in general down, not necessarily IOTX. It's not its fault as such, and people doing it particularly on this asset class, but it does affect everything. So you could potentially get another one of them. We've also got narratives to consider around the world about interest rates and borrowing and the usual garbage to affect markets and whatnot. So the whales can jump back in. But irrespective of this drop over the 2 days, we've had a very nice recovery and trying to bring it back upwards above these floating areas of 10.5, as we said. So plenty to think about. We'll do another IOTX video next week, and we'll obviously feature it in the top 5 one anyway. That kind of gave it away that I've already added it to it, but that's how I'm playing IOTX right now. Let us know what you think about that in the comments below. What are you doing with IOTX? Are you confident? And what do you think about these great projects coming? Is there any that you have heard of that we haven't mentioned yet that they're planning to do? Do let us know. And do check out their interview video on the 11th. For sure, we will be covering that probably on the 11th or the 12th. Or we might even do it while it's occurring and then maybe do a review session afterwards. If you want us to do that, do let us know. But they're my moves for IOTX at the moment. That's what I think is going on with the next few days. Stabilizing ourselves, hopefully, over this. But also keeping a firm eye on the fact that we may break this and drop down again. Let's see how it plays out. We'll catch you in the next IOTX video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.